franchises like The Legend of Zelda. Their popularity is largely thanks to how Nintendo catered their games to a younger audience, but even then, there are some games from Nintendo that players find dark. In the Legend of Zelda series, one of the old classics that still gets discussed to this day is Majora's Mask. Considered by many to be the creepiest Zelda game, Majora's Mask haunted the dreams of a lot of its players. But why? To understand why Majora's Mask was so chilling, you have to understand what it was like when the game first came out. The previous entry in the franchise, Ocarina of Time, brought the series into 3D for the first time and became one of the greatest video games of the decade.
It has some of the most iconic music in all of gaming, and at the time, it flawlessly captured the grandiose feeling of adventure. Ocarina of Time includes the path of the entire medium of video games.
To follow up on this historic achievement, Eiji Aonuma, the lead designer of the Zelda games, was given an impossible task. He had to develop the sequel to Ocarina of Time within a year. The stress of this deadline gave him nightmares. According to an interview, it was these nightmares that inspired
Most dangerous computer virus in history and how it's caused nearly $38 billion worth of damage. So the year is 2004, and you just got a cryptic email stating, "I'm just doing my job, nothing personal," starring with an attachment that, when clicked, releases a worm into your system that finds every email address and contact you have on your computer and sends itself to them too. In total, since its creation in 2004, it's estimated to have infected at least 500,000 computers. And the worst part, we still have absolutely no idea who made the virus, despite a $250,000 bounty on his head, and it's still active to this day, sending over 1.2 billion infected emails a year. You know about the most dangerous computer virus in the most dangerous computer virus in history, and how it's caused nearly $38 billion worth of damage. So the year is 2004, and you've just gotten a cryptic email stating, "I'm just doing my job, nothing personal," starring with an attachment that, when clicked, releases a worm into your system that finds every email address and contact you have on your computer.
Banana, please. Yeah. Who's taking an Everland pirate? It's here. Bank.
Happy to be of service.
There you go.
Yeah.
Traumatizing them for the rest of their lives. With the rise of social media, we've seen more and more instances of these dangerous toys pop up, with concerned parents taking to the web to report some of these reports actually resulted in full-on recall. These are the internet's most dangerous toys. Our country's best restaurants and chefs and ships them right to your front door. It's a
fire
lettuce
without a
burrito with
purpose.
salsa verde. The burrito is scrumptious and has a big chorizo. I really enjoy starting the day with this guy. Super day. Next up, we have our chicken and tofu. It's mozzarella, arugula, cherry tomatoes. And next.
I'm a jailbird coming soon.
Personal favorite from the
My
dad,
marksmanship has
the
gotten
orange
way better.
barbecue chicken thigh. Really has to now I know you guys are hungry, so let me hook you up.
Enemy defeated.
A secret that, when revealed, opened up one of the most bizarre. Just days after Halloween, in Dayton, Ohio,
Shield is ready to go.
this is a bad part. The one which
Reloading.
promised the anime character on the wand packaging. It goes without saying that this name is quite a juxtaposition compared to the product packaging. Employee the body. Chill ran down the woman's spine.
Speed reload coming up. Enemy defeated.
Nicole Halloween something intended for children here in images like this. Danger to children. but hide any wrong. That is convention where the stops and makes people and acquires sticks for his did he buy this from? Whatever they take, the origin of the evil stick. As a long line, where you can by my top. Around this time, I called the computer and help in the ongoing investigation of this. Aside from living the world of death itself, several images a customer could be surprised with, none of which were as creepy as the wig when Zombie and Goose were found. However, some friendly anime character, angelic-looking being, and the evil stick that contained pleasant imagery were said to play whimsical music like the packaging promise. Those regarded as no violent online and just unexpected. But eventually, thanks to thousands of online contributors, its creator was tracked down. The infamous image was only had taken this photo back in 2002 for the in-up series. While the woman featured in the real photography model, none of the blood or gore present was. It was all removed from the evil stick image. Which brings us to the fact that the idea that it also was being stole its artwork to use somehow responsible for the creation of the which brings us to the final stage of the responsible with the evil sticks bar.
Someone just to do poo. Which has led me
suggesting that the Eagle Stick is something like a real-world version of the Great Ego. Product, calculated potential explanation. And only one, the traumatized this, the demonic girl naturally would have been like and laugh. Flower. Still around America. As far as I'm aware, the Evil Stick is no longer sold. Several Evil Sticks have appeared on eBay over the years for hundreds Evil Stick. Viral children.
Another one bites the dust.
In my head, it will be forever. Lacerations and puncture wounds. The injuries resulting from children split.
Yeah, that's funny.
Injuries have reportedly sent kids to the hospital and required stitches. As a result of these reports, in 2023, the 7.5 billion large baby shark water toys in circulation were recalled by their manufacturer, Zuru LLC. Consumers were told to immediately stop using the dangerous sharks and to contact Zuru for a full refund of $14 for each. The recall stated the following, quote, consumers should disable the tail fin by cutting it on the full-size bath toy or by bending it on the mini-size bath toy. Mark the body of the shark bath toy with the word recalled and the PIN code provided during registration registration for the recall. Then upload a photo of the product showing it's disabled and marked at recallrtr.com/bathshark. Upon receipt of the photo, Zoo
Then you
refund
go.
the purchase. This recall is still somewhat recent and is an actively developing story. I'm
Cause
unaware
it's
of
all
any
that.
lawsuits resulting from injuries. Whatever the case, this situation is a dark stain on the reputation of one of the most beloved children franchises to rise to prominence in recent memory. This next story was a toy recall that occurred in the early days of the internet when information didn't spread as fast as it does these days. It's one of the most disturbing and widespread recalls of all time. It's beloved by Americans. It's the story of Burger King's deadly Pokeballs. In 1999, during the promotion for the first Pokemon movie, Burger King held a $22 million promotion for the movie, releasing a set of 57 miniature Pokemon toys which were contained within small Pokeballs measuring 3 inches in diameter. Burger King distributed the toys through their Big Kids meal and regular kids meals, and the promotion was set to last through November and December of 1999. These Pokeballs were manufactured by Equity Marketing Inc. in Los Angeles, California, and could be opened by pulling the two halves of the Pokeballs apart, revealing the Pokemon toy inside. Now, for you true 90s kids out there, you most definitely remember this promotion. It was a massive deal, and I remember having multiple of these toys, as a kid. It's a fucking miracle that I'm still alive.
Bye. It's free and easy to sell with eBay. Our Villa Plus experts select quality villas with private pools, so you and your family can book a business from the
Yes, in 99, the Pokemon craze was at its height, and this toy run was a massive hit for Burger King. Reputable customers attempting to get their hands on Pokeballs, and unsurprisingly, bird. UK Pokeballs was public interest at the time. Burger King president of North America, Warren newspaper advertising, apologized to the public when there were shortages. So what we'll soon find is that this problem reveal itself. A design flaw with beautiful by family members. When she was turned over, the family discovered that the girl had a Pokeball stuck into her face, one side covering her mouth. The Pokeball had suction to the toddler's mouth and suffocated to death. After the tragedy, it was noted that the small diameter and constant structure of the Pokeball was particularly susceptible to suction, manipulating it in a way where an airtight seal would be made, opposing suffocation. This was the first time in history a burger with the death of the burger giant would initially with the direct cause of the child's death, and that the accident could have possibly been two completely unrelated accidents, despite all found on the mouth. Okay, they said this, but then it happened on December 23rd, 1999. 2 days before Christmas, a girl from Kansas reportedly got out of the football and reloading.
Oh.
Super panic along with it. So with this consideration, Pokeball would distribution immediately, and a recall would be issued. And by the were removed from the store. Several days later, on December 1999, a nationwide public. Indiana would fall victim to the ball subject to his face on the top of the eventually this crisis would come to an end. And the way that the Pokemon crisis criticism for their initial
My strength isn't to be trifled with.
before, during, and after production of the balls. They said the guideline boxes while the these parameters did not assess the risk, which was the way that the Pokeballs killed. The toy's design flaw was as not and the consumer product safety. And this was toys nowadays are tested for suctioning risks. As far as compensation for victims, Pokeballs, those filed suit against the company and would win a monetary settlement from the corporation. Dollar amount. It's not known if it's other
isn't to be trifled with. Rest in peace.
This is also we can get out of it. You didn't go like that. Yeah.
the girl is of this deranged act. 13.
Reloading. Don't. My strength isn't to be Gotta restore. Danger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I need you charging payroll.
Danger.
After all, it's gone for
My strength isn't to be trifled
and
with.
it essentially all boils down to passwords. See, it's not all wrong with social media sites and other online services to experience data leaks where information, including logs, profiles, off the internet.
Don't plug it.
I'm being
Data
attacked.
leaks
Danger. Danger. Reloading. My strength isn't to be trifled with. Rest. Danger.
Belonging to victims also in the United States. All the police reported crime while watching. Why was the watch people in watching?
Eh.
February of 2026, count of making terroristic threat, and the second degree in one count of terroristic and with sentenced to serve 7 years in prison.
Curiously, since the arrest of these two individuals, ring camera hackings have pretty much stopped. That threat of ring camera hacking is still out there, and the only way to prevent it is to have a strong password and not get wrapped up in leaks. Extremely popular in the mid-2010s, most of you watching likely remember the hoverboard craze. Admittedly, these things are fun to mess around on, and they got so popular that hoverboards kind of became a meme for a while. With every super kid in America YOLO swagging out on these things, they just got tiresome, you know? While hoverboards are fondly remembered by many, they just got tiresome, you know? While hoverboards are fondly remembered by many, what's often not discussed about this dark history surrounding it and the many
It's
houses
ready.
burned down, children injured and killed because of it.
Yes.
Back in the day, people saw hoverboards as a form of transportation. The hypothetical contraption.
Okay.
Fly's hoverboard featured in Back to the Future 2. Decades later, the world had yet to get flying hoverboards for real. The technology is still out of reach. But in 2013, manufacturers decided to cash in on the legacy pop culture hype and began selling electronic swivel skateboard-like toys under the name hoverboard. The genesis of these swivel hoverboard products actually begins with a Kickstarter created by American entrepreneur Steve Chen. This Kickstarter would later result in the creation of his hoverboard product, which sold under the name Hovertrack. For those who don't know, hoverboards move by the user tilting in the direction that they want to go. It's also possible to get the board to spin in a circle by tilting your feet in opposite directions. When hoverboards hit shelves, they were almost an immediate hit, and much of this was in part thanks to how popular social media was at the time and videos of the hoverboard spreading viral. Videos would surface online showcasing various celebrities like Justin Bieber, Jamie Foxx, Kendall Jenner, and more riding hoverboard, and dozens of funny fail videos surfaced as well, showing Viners, YouTubers, and everyday people busting their asses and crashing their boards. Much like scooters and bicycles, hoverboards became a hugely popular hit with children. By June of 2015, copycats of the hoverboard began flooding the market, and the quality of the product began to suffer as a result. Now, you might think the danger being posed to the youth in regard to this product was, simply kids crashing and busting their head open on the board. But the real insidious danger with the hoverboard was actually the risk of these things exploding and catching on fire. These fires causing entire homes to be burnt down and lives ruined. With low-quality hoverboards now in the hands of consumers, videos began surfacing on social media showcasing hoverboard burning flames. Louisiana family who purchased a hoverboard for their son's Christmas gift unfortunately lost their entire home thanks to the board igniting and setting fire to the property. As more boards were proven faulty, a social media panic began to set in, and online retailers started removing specific hoverboard products from their websites. In late 2015, hoverboards manufactured by the company Flatway were taken off of Amazon. Later this started banning people from using hoverboards as their property, and many airlines products were made on our back end. Their child's hoverboard bursted into flames while the parents weren't at home. The two children heard noises coming from the first floor and hid upstairs thinking that the sound was natural. However, what they didn't realize is that sound was their hoverboard exploding, and they were essentially trapped in a house that was now burning down. Ryan and Megan arrived home shortly after to find the house. The two
young children still stuck inside. Ryan would attempt to rescue his kids and sustain several burn injuries while doing so. Thankfully, the children would be heroically rescued after they jumped out of windows to survive, only sustaining minor injuries. This hoverboard-induced fire completely annihilated the family's $1 million home, resulting in approximately $2 million in damages. Later in the year, the family would sue Amazon, alleging that the company was liable for the defective hoverboard and the damages that it caused.
After this round.
In reality, the manufacturer was fired. However, eventually in 2020, Amazon sued the family for an undisclosed amount of money. With all of this chaos and destruction caused by hoverboards, it wouldn't be long for official agencies to step in and get the ball rolling or recall. The Consumer Product Safety Commission would launch an investigation into the safety of hoverboard devices and determine that the lithium-ion batteries within them could overheat and pose the high risk of catching fire. And after these findings, in July 2016, the Commission ordered a recall of over 500,000 hoverboard units from 8 different manufacturers. The Swagway X1 hoverboard alone was the target of
It was about this guy who traveled into the future.
No, don't joke.
That's where the term hoverboard comes from.
In January of 2018,
But the product was made of hoverboard, just used 2 wheels. But if you then forward, the track on wheels that was put back,
able to put out the flames and
it would move forward, maybe forward, but try and keep you upright.
Our Villa Plus experts
Right.
Well, it's not still come out of those shows. It's a video show. No, not something like that.
In 2021, the family was actually able to catch a hoverboard exploding on video. The child almost being harmed by the device. Luckily, the kid's father, who was asleep at the time, woke up and grabbed the fire extinguisher and was able to put out the blaze. On April 1st of 2022, in Pennsylvania, a girl and her 15-year-old sister caused by a hoverboard. Being these hoverboard products for close to half a decade as it's defective ones are still making it onto store shelves and hurting. Hopefully the trend dies down in the near future, but deaths and injuries within the last year, it's not looking good. Bad employees. The king shouted down the vision.
Reloading. Keep your eyes.
Quite
Just a little taste from Murphy's.
While these aforementioned benefits around this business are held for today, okay, what's undeniable about the product is that it has a dark side with reports
There's 2 million from me.
Reloading. Gotta get back in the fight. A little taste from Murphy's Security. Bandaging. Returning to battlefield 4.
Alright.
An aspiring businessman by the name of Alan Barnett saw potential in the toy and if only it could be mass produced. Leading being the 60, approximately all modern fish found on shelves today. The Fidget 360 toy was marketed as a way to children cope with autism aiding despite there not being any solid research. Whatever smart, fun, and addictive, and it was an immediate hit after being put on store shelves. Much like the hoverboard, the popularity of fidget spinners was thanks in part to social media. Online, one could find numerous videos of folks showcasing their spectacular fidget spinner skills, magic, humorous skits to boot. But in contrast to the hoverboard, fidget spinners were
Hunt begins.
most of them ranging in price from $5 to $20.
Reload.
They were very
Gotta
small
get back in the
fun.
fight.
But while the internet's been
Strength isn't to be trifled with.
copycats flooding the market, problems began to occur. In May of 2017, the reality of fidget spinners being a choking hazard would come to fruition. This happened when a Texas mother named Kelly Rose Joniak had to rush her daughter Brittany to the emergency room after she accidentally swallowed one of the gadgets. It said that the woman heard her daughter make an odd wrenching noise in the back seat. She says, looking back in the mirror, I saw her face turn red and spew voice from her mouth. She couldn't utter noises. So I immediately pulled over. After being taken to the hospital and given x-rays, it was discovered that part of the fidget spinner brushing, which is the metal part of the spinner that's about the
Keep your
size
eyes
of a
open.
popped out and was lodged with doctors had to perform emergency surgery on the girl, which requires general anesthesia. Thanks to the topic, the brushing was safely extracted from the body. The mother says, fortunately, we had a positive outcome, but it was pretty scary there for a while. From this, I wish to offer some word of caution to parents. Fidget spinners are the current craze of the black industry. Kids of all ages may be getting them, but not all spinners come with age-appropriate warnings. The brushing is not
Right. It's almost finished. Yeah.
Staff member told me but after a little bit of back and forth, got out of it. The fidget spinning attempted kidnapper fled away in a white Toyota Corolla. New Jersey's Old Bridge Township Police put out a Facebook status regarding the attempted fidget spinner kidnapping and provided offering a reward for the fidget spinner.
This is the fake one. It's
remove the product. Fortunately, though, despite the possibility of lead poisoning, kidnapping, and choking had let's go. Made it to the end. No.
Reloading. Taste from Murphy Security.
Want me to talk about things. I want to give a major shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys. With web serves out. Peace.
It's awesome. Yeah, 6 more squads. Oh, it's almost finished. Whoops.
Shield to my back. Battery sword. Reloading. Haha. Got it. My strength isn't to be trifled with. Rest in peace.
Maybe it's full squad. It's almost finished.
Reloading. My strength isn't to be trifled with. Rest in peace. Just a little taste from Murphy Security.
Where's it going?
Reloading.
I run.